how accurate is the Garmin R50 versus the Trackman 4 launch monitor? Alex and I are going to have a bash, and we've been busy, well, you've been busy, aligning everything as good as you can, haven't you?
Been trying my best, yeah. So there's always going to be some variance here. Now, aligning a unit on a ceiling, for example, is quite easy because you have the ceiling unit is completely static and we know where to build from. But aligning something like a Trackman 4 or even like another camera unit next to it is very, very difficult. So we've got it to where the launch angle, so as in telling it where the ball is launched from center line, is pretty much bang on. So we've got a good starting point. Let's see how we get on.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult with club data to get
Club
it
path, yeah, that's going to be a tough
absolutely
one.
perfect all the time. But obviously, similar to what we've done with the R50 versus the Trackman IO that we did yesterday, we're going to be looking at some specific data points, mainly looking at the ball data to see how accurate that is compared to the Trackman units. But yeah, we will compare some of the club data as well. Now, very important to note, because I forgot to do this last time, didn't I? Oh, okay. And I got blasted in the comments. We're using a Titleist RCT ball today with the Trackman 4 launch monitor to make sure that we're getting accurate spin numbers.
Yeah, and basically what a Titleist RCT ball is it's been developed with indoor golf in mind. So it's a slightly more reflective version of a Pro V1. It's got like a metal ring in it that helps the radar to pick up the golf ball accurately. And it's going to make the biggest difference to things like spin axis and also backspin numbers.
Wedge, 7-iron driver.
Okay.
Very quick little casual test, and we'll see how the data compares.
Let's go. Now, like we did with the Trackman IO, we're going to be giving the R50 its best chance ever. And to do club path, it requires a reflective dot, similar to something like a GC3. The R50 ones are a little bit bigger. You just pop it in the middle of the face, like this. And that will now be able to test the golf club and track the club path. So, do you want to take us away?
Mate, I will take us away. So this is 56 degree. I was impressed with the Garmin yesterday, though.
It was very good. Yeah, it was very good.
Awesome, wasn't it?
I'm intrigued to see, is the distances still down?
A little bit thin.
A bit thin. Oh. Well, ball speed's good.
Now then, right, carry distance. Trackman, 87 effectively.
82, so 5 yards down. So we've got a familiar theme. Ball speed.
That. On the Trackman, ball speed was 75.6.
75.9 on the Garmin, so bang on. That's very good. Spin rate?
Spin rates were well good yesterday, weren't they?
Again, that is phenomenal. We're within about 50 revs of spin.
Amazing. Spin axis is always going to be a bit of a tricky one, I guess.
Tough one. Yeah, so they're both going right. There's 3 degrees difference there. That will come down to how well we've been able to set up the units. It's just one of the limitations of these kind of things in this kind of test.
Yeah.
Carry distance, so we're 4 yards down.
Yeah. No,
4.5.
Yeah, we said that. 5 yards per. Club speed we've not done yet.
75 and 74.7. Bang on.
Very good. And then path.
Again, so this is going to be similar to the spin axis. It's difficult to measure, but you've got a negative on both. So you've got 3.4 left on the Garmin and 2.6 on the Trackman.
Yeah, very close though, within a degree, I'd say.
Try and hit a bit of a hooky wedge. See how it does with this. Bit of a hooky wedge. Notably, the Garmin is quicker. I can see the Garmin reacting quicker than the Trackman.
Yeah.
Okay, and those numbers are pretty good again. Okay, so my ball speed, 79.1. On the Garmin, we're at 79.6, so 0.5 of a yard, spot on. Spin rate, you're at 10.35 on the Garmin and 10.32 on the Trackman, which is so good. So spin axis, again, we've said is a little bit difficult to measure here, and it has gone a little bit squiffy there. So it's not something we're worrying about too much here. Carry, it's 84.6 to 90.6, so 6 yards difference. Very, very familiar number there.
Still consistent there, isn't it?
Similar again with the club head speed, about a mile and a half hour down. So that's what's equating for that kind of difference in distance is the lower club head speed.
And what we didn't mention on the last shot was the shot tracer, the most visual, obvious one. It's very accurate again, almost the same, aren't they? And considering the spin axis is a little bit different in terms of the actual final outcome of the shot.
The actual result was okay, wasn't it?
It's very similar. Yeah. Let's try 7-iron.
7-iron we go.
Bit heavy.
It'd be interesting to see how it copes with a heavy shot there.
Yeah, again, shot
same
tracer,
shot shape,
almost exactly the same. Ball speed 102.5, 102.6. Spin rates 5,200, 5,300 within 500 RPM. Well, amazing. Spin axes 4.9 to the left. Spin axes 7 to the left again. Is it consistently out?
It's consistently out, yeah. So it's not something to worry about too much. Yeah.
Carry distance though, 137.9, 140.3, so
Pretty close,
inside
that.
5.
That's pretty good for that, yeah.
Very good. Club speed 82.5, 83.5. Path 2.2 to the right, 2.5 to the right. That's very accurate, you know.
Pretty spot on. There we go.
Oh yeah, big one on the
Big
Garmin.
old hook on the Trackman, big old hook on the Garmin.
It's coming a bit closer to centre on the Garmin in terms of
It's a better shot on the Garmin. We'll say the Garmin was right. All the other numbers though, ball speed 119.6 to 120. Very, very good. Spin axis. It's actually the furthest I've seen the spin axis, the spin rate out, sorry. 160 revs out, but that is negligible. Yeah. That's the difference between 15 yards of draw and 11 yards or something.
Well, again, yeah, looking at the carry distances there, they're slightly further out, aren't they? Only like 7 yards. You got to kind of put this into perspective. And obviously, Trackman's an elite level launch monitor, which is what, close to 20k.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's 18 and a bit, yeah.
And then you've got a 5k unit in the Garmin R50. I mean,
4.3, yeah.
4.3, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you kind of just got to look at it like that, haven't you?
And
like,
the big interesting point of it is what we're seeing is consistent data on both. So the Trackman is mega consistent because it's an £18,500 unit. But for £4,500, we're seeing consistent numbers that are consistently different to the Trackman.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mentioned it in the I/O video. If you've got multiple launch monitors pointed at a golf ball, they're probably all going to say something slightly different. What we need to know is that the data we're measuring is consistent and actionable. And so Trackman we know is consistent because it's Trackman. But the Garmin is definitely keeping up in terms of data showing in the same way every time.
Let's hit a shot with the driver. Let's see how that fares.
Now, I'll get Mitch's excuses out of the way for him. He is like me, a little bit old, and he's hit a driver straight off the bat. Early morning, no warm-up, and I think he's feeling it now, aren't you? A little bit sore. So be gentle with him.
I'll have to be gentle with the drive, mate.
Pretty good. Touch left on the Garmin, touch left on the Trackman, same thing.
Dodgy back, mate.
Dodgy back, yeah.
Looking at that though, again, shot tracer wise, it's almost identical, isn't it?
Pretty much bang on, isn't it?
Oh, actually, we've got a dodgy read with the spin, mate, here on the italic. Shall we do that one
3.8
again?
versus 7.6. Yeah, that's definitely very different, isn't it?
Let's try that again. See if we can get a good read with the Trackman. That sounded good. Does it look good?
Bit left again.
Oh, mate, I'm taking that. Oh, see, we got a different read here, look.
Yeah, a little bit, but nothing to be too surprised at, really.
Looking at the shot tracer, though.
Yeah, with the difference in spin axis, though, so you've got a pretty big difference here. So you've got 1.6 on the to the right on the Trackman, and actually got 9.3 on the Garmin. So that's the biggest spin axis difference we've seen, and far bigger than anything else we've seen. That might be because the ball is traveling faster. We can test it on one of mine.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it does, but that would be what's explaining that difference there. So all the other numbers have stayed pretty much bang on. I mean,
I'm leaning more towards the Trackman because it went straight. I did feel it was a good shot. Oh,
that pretty good. Yeah, similar line to yours actually.
Yeah, it's not red. I'm just looking at the spin rates again. The Trackman isn't measuring the spin there because we've got it in italics.
Yeah, so while it is measuring, it's just not sure. So this may be something to do with interference between the two. I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll try again. Let's try a different RCT ball because we've had that a couple of times now.
Yeah, let's try it. Oh, to be fair, this one's cracked.
Is it cracked?
Yeah, we've cracked the ball.
That
would be the reason why. You look next to my thumb. You see the crack there? That's a little bit fadey there. Bit heely. Yeah. Yeah, same on both. I'd expect that. That was a horrible strike.
Sounded good.
Yeah, it's definitely down on ball speed though today for me. That's my shot set there.
Fadey. Yeah, that one's not faded back in on the Garmin.
Interesting. So we're having a little bit of an issue with driver. It's worth mentioning we've had to have a fiddle for sure.
Yeah.
So we were getting where the Trackman wasn't confirming its spin rates, and also there was some interference on the Garmin. We were getting some misreads on both. So I don't know if they might be causing some issues with each other. Not sure why it would happen so much just on the driver, because 7-iron and pitching wedge we're very happy with.
Very good, yeah.
But we've found a bit more light on the Trackman. We've moved some of our studio lighting a bit closer as well. That seems to have rectified it.
Had a couple of test shots and it seems pretty accurate.
Seems pretty accurate now.
I'll try and demo it for you.
Let's give it a go. Shall I go ahead?
You go first, mate. nicely down the middle, slight fade with the Garmin. Very similar with the Trackman.
Yeah, okay, so I'm happy that I would say those spin rates are probably accurate as well. I healed the life out of that. So ball speed, 154, 155. Bit down on normal, but that's what I would expect from that kind of strike. Spin rate, very high, but both of them are saying the same thing, so 4.3, 4.4.
Spin axis pretty close
Spin
there,
axis, we have realigned everything, so that's a lot closer, so 5.2 to 6.2, very good. Carry distance, not very far. 5 yards difference as normal on the Garmin. Club speed, I was a little bit up on the Garmin, which is very rare. It's very rare that it says it's quicker than Trackman. I would say the 109 was, from how I'm feeling today, probably a little bit more accurate.
Okay.
And then club path.
Path's a bit different there.
A little bit different, but that's okay.
Not very good. Low and left on the Garmin.
A little low and left there.
See, I get a estimated spin again.
You do hit the spin very low though. Yeah. You do spin it very, very low in general. So
well, I have been doing the last couple of days, haven't I?
Yeah, I wonder if Trackman might be just thinking at a very low spin number, and actually it's just what you are doing, because it's not. In fact, you were at 483 on the Garmin.
That's a better strike.
A better strike. 1500 spin.
Throwing in nicely is the shot shape that felt.
Yeah, little push. That's going to be okay. That's just to do with the spin axis again.
Ball speed 151, very close between the two. Again, spin rate's estimated. So what's the 500 spin difference? Not ideal there, Al, is it? It's worth noting that with the wedge and with the 7-iron, we've had some pretty accurate readings there, haven't we? Just we've been on driver.
We've been all over the iron numbers.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see if we hit an iron now. Just no cut, so you know we're not fiddling around with anything.
Yeah, go for it.
If we hit an iron now, I imagine these numbers will be pretty spot on. So just hit a little 7-iron down the middle. Chunk it. Goodness me. But 3.7, 3.8, so those numbers are bang on. So you can just pound them away. And these numbers are going to be spot on all day, especially with spin numbers. So 6.1, 6.1. It's actually missed my, this isn't a dotted up club, but you're going to see those spin rates and everything like that are bang on. Let's hit fade here. You got fade going, ball speed, spot on, spin rate, spot on within 6 revs.
Shapes, very good. So with the irons,
I'm really happy with it, and it's just very, very strange that it struggles with driver.
If you've got any ideas why that might be with the driver, after it's been so accurate with the irons and the wedges, then drop us a comment down below. Like we've said, mate, it's very difficult to test 2 units directly against each other and get completely accurate data. But the last couple of days we've tested Garmin, I'm pretty impressed.
The word we've used is consistent, isn't it? There are definitely differences between machines. But the thing we've seen is that it's been consistent, and it's been like, especially that I like that 5-yard analogy that's just followed us around.
It's been great, that,
It's been bob on 5 yards down on Trackman throughout, and that's an interesting number to compare. So.
Very good. So if you have enjoyed this video, please drop it a like. Obviously, we're down at Golf Swing Systems, so if you're interested in the Garmin R50 or even a Trackman 4 launch monitor, then head over to their website. Use the discount code handicap5, particularly if you're after the Garmin unit as well. That'll get you a decent amount of discount, won't it? So,
yeah, I mean, 215 quid off a Garmin.
Absolutely.
It's a serious amount of money.
After what we've seen over the last couple of days, I'd be quite happy with that purchase.
Yeah, and we haven't really touched too much on Home T Hero. We had a look at it last time you were down.
That's a good point.
43,000 golf courses.
That's a good point. I got a comment in one of my last videos on the Garmin saying, can we play a more recognisable golf course on the Garmin R50? So why
don't we hit that up now, and we'll see it in the next video.
We'll link it on the video on screen right now. So yeah, check that out, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you in a moment.